All right, good morning. Welcome to our historical weapons program for the Family Day. We're going to focus on follow along today and spend the majority of our time just kind of reviewing the set up to where we are. We are getting close to the last parts of the set. We've got a very detailed turnaround we're going to look at coming up soon, and then one final pass that mostly has techniques that we've already worked on. We'll just be sequencing them as we head towards the finish of the set. In the meantime, let's get ourselves warmed up a little bit. Let's let the head rise and fall a couple of times. And looking from side to side. And ear to one shoulder and hang. And to the other. Again to the first side. And the second. And then we got the head roll. Some gentle half circles. Good. And let's warm up the shoulders. We'll go shoulders back. And shoulders forward. And we'll go arms can circle one way. And arms can circle the other. Good. We'll reach those arms up over the head. We'll let one go forward and one go back. And then the other way. Good. Let those arms go nice and loose. Kind of wrap around the torso a bit. And still going to do some weapons work, so let's get those shoulders stretched. Give a pull on one side. And on the other. And over the head to one side. And the other. Behind the back on one side. And on the other. Yeah, we'll shake it out. Let's warm up the hips just a little bit. We'll go one way. And the other. One more time. First way. And the second. Okay, let's pick up our weapons. I've changed shapes again. So we've been talking about the different types of sabers. First one that I worked with was the traditional Yang saber, the goose quill saber. Then I brought out the willow leaf, and now this is called the oxtail. And this is the one we see most frequently used in Chinese martial arts practice, because this was considered to be more the civilian weapon, whereas the willow leaf I was been working with for the last few weeks was a bit more of the military style of the saber. So just some different sabers to work with. Let's start out. We'll still warm things up a little bit. Let's start with wrist today. So we're going to touch in on the wrist with the fingers, and we're going to roll back of sword, edge, back of sword, edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Let's go to the non-dominant arm, back of sword, edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we've got two directions that we can work these kind of wrist drops. I can think about turning to the inside to deflect and cut. I can think about turning to the outside. So we started out the last one going outside, 1, 2, 3, and then we can go inside, 1, 2, 3, outside, 1, 2, 3, inside, 1, 2, 3. Then we often go inside and outside. This one I can think about in terms of deflections, tack, tack, deflecting on one side, deflecting. So we're making these sort of active low walls. We're tapping something out of the way. We're tapping something out of the way. Now, we could either tap and come through, so we're deflecting with the spine in both directions, or we can think deflect with one, cut with the other. So you can get both of those kind of happening. Okay, let's go through some chops today. So we're going to go open and chop. Now, we could do that same deflection. We could deflect down, and instead of cutting, boom, we're going to chop. And we're going to see this coming up. This shows up in the set a few times. Deflect, chop, deflect, chop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now the oxtail that I have today is definitely chopping based. So it's got a little bit more of that heavy end to it that helps with those sort of axe-like motions where we're chopping down. Now we can also chop and return. So in some ways, that's our high wall. So our low wall, we were deflecting, boom, and chopping down. With our high wall, we're kind of pulling this back and hitting, pulling back. But that pulling back can be where we're kind of pushing something off to the side before we chop. So we can go pull back, chop, pull back, 2, 3, deflect, chop, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do a little bit of non-dominant work. So let's go to our low wall chop. Low wall chop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's go to our high wall. Deflect, chop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, we said we were going to, on the family day here, we're going to go through our sequence up to where we have finished so far. So we have been working up into our shooting the tiger work. So let's head through that. So we're starting out, feet nice and close. We've got the opening and the settling. So we're going to step out, pivot in with that right, lifting up the sword, drawing in, and we get our pounding with the heel before stepping through to our pong presentation. Then we're brushing with the right, gathering with the left, right hand over the head. Here comes our transfer. So we sandwich in, lift the left, step with the left, lift the right, cut low, horizontal. Deflect, stir the pot, we've been calling it, and thrust through, hand and sword pommel parallel, rising diagonal to cut or deflect, and then we're stepping out with our reinforced low wall. We let that settle low as we step back, lifting up high and pressing out to a high reinforced wall. We're going to lift that up over the head. Right leg comes up. Step out, chop down, left leg. We're going to hook underneath. Step through. Here's our first big rising diagonal cut. Then we roll back. We step through and we get that reinforced rising diagonal. Draw in the left foot, draw in the left hand. Press out. like a single whip kind of position. Turning in with the left, sword is settling. Turning out with the right, we're gathering around, and we're going to thrust and turn over the blade, so edges down, and we're thrusting out to the 45. We're going to step in and palm. We roll back, deflect, palm strike, brush, and chop. Again, we're going to roll over for a low wall that we reinforce. Here's our section of 3. Turn, chop, palm strike, roll back, deflect, brush this time over the head as we thrust. Horizontal draw in, exchange to the sword in the arm, and press out to palm. We're going to turn, settling the left arm. We now chop, right leg comes up, step in, left palm strike. Roll back, deflect, stir the pot, step through, thrust. So second time through the sequence, we draw back, horizontal and pung. We turn, chop. So our third time turning around into this chop. We continue that into our deflect. But now as we step out, we reach up high and we spiral that thrust up, edge up, high up to thrust. Now here's what we just worked on. There's that low wall deflection. Good. Come around to cutting palm. Now here's that rising thrust that we were working on last week. Up high, over, and we kick with shin. Palm strike. We're turning in, pulling down with the right hand, lifting up. Draw in that left, step out with the left, and this is pommel high, fist low for our shoot the tiger position. We're going to roll back, back fist with the right hand. Roll into the left, sword up high, up into crane. Settle, low strike with the pommel, high strike with the fist. And this is where we've been leaving it off for now. So the next movement's going to take us into a turnaround and change. Let's do that again. So open and settle and step. Turn in, lifting up, cutting under, stomp, step through to palm. Brush with right, gather with left, right hand overhead, sword tip facing away. Sandwich the hands, lift the left, step in, cover, so you're rolling to the braced wrist and cut. Horizontal low, step through, deflect and thrust. Good, roll, back in and step through with that reinforced low wall. Step back 1, it goes lower. 2, it rises up. So we're making a nice big circle here. And 3, we step out to press. Roll back, lift the right. Step, lift the left, chop. Left hand comes palm up as we step through for our rising cut. Draw back. Step 1, 2, rising cut. Reinforced. Draw in. Press out. Turn over. Outside turn, cover the wrist. And thrust before palm. Roll back. cloak over, palm strike and hook stance, brush and chop. Roll back for that low wall, reinforced as we step into it. And here's our threes. 1, palm, deflect, brush, thrust, horizontal and pung, 180-degree turn, chop, lift, palm, good, deflect, brush and thrust, roll back horizontal, press out with pung. So third of the 3 turns, or the 3 chops. So we chop and palm strike, that stays the same. We deflect, stir the pot, but this time when we brush, instead of bringing that hand over the head, we're going to reach out in front and we're going to spiral our thrust and turn over the edge to rise. And then we go deflect and hook stance, come over and into our cutting palm, where we're going to get that rising thrust all the way up till we exchange it into the left hand and we kick with shin. Step through palm strike. Shoot the tiger, so we're rolling back, turning in 1, 2, step out, high with the sword pommel, low with the hand. Turn again, back fist. Oh, nice pose here, right up high, right hand on hip, so it's kind of tucked in, hand up, leg up, then step low with the sword, high with the hand. Good. We'll do that one more time for today. So, 1, and down, stepping out. Let's go with a little bit more consistent flow. Step through, pung. Roll back. Hand overhead, sword rested forward. Lift left, step through, cut low. Deflect. Brush thrust. Rising diagonal. Step out to the 45 low wall. Roll back. 1, 2, pick that up high. 3, press that out. Roll. Right leg comes up, sword overhead. Left leg comes up as we chop. Underneath. Big, long diagonal cut. Draw in. Step out. And on the cutting on the 45. Roll back, draw in the sword, step out, raise the sword, press the palm. Inside turn left, sword settles to right shoulder. Outside turn with the right foot as we cover the hand of the sword hand, and then to a 45, we spiral the sword edge down and thrust before stepping in with palm strike. Roll back. Deflect. There's those roofs over the head and palm, brush and chop. Deflect out to the side and reinforced low wall. Here comes the first of our 3rd chop and palm strike. Chop down, palm strike. Low deflect, stir the pot, thrust. Horizontal cut, transfer into the left, palm. 2nd chop down, turn, chop down, and palm. Roll back, deflect. brush, thrust, draw back horizontal, and bump. So two identical ones. Third one, we turn. So we get that same chop and palm. We get the same deflect and stir, but now we're going to step out, reach out that left hand, and we're going to rise up. So we end up with the sword edge up in crane. Deflect, bump in a hook stance, come over and cutting palm. Now we're going to drive the tip of the sword up and over before we kick and palm strike. Inside turn, right hand up, sword down, pull down as we turn in, draw in the left foot, step out with the left, punch high with the pommel, low with the open hand or the empty hand. Turn, back fist, lift up nice and high, then settle, low punch with the sword, high punch. If you want to add a little bit more here, you're going to roll back, gather up, and you're going to kick with shin to the 45. And then we're going to pick up the sword. We're going to do an outside turn, an inside turn, a step back over the shoulder, and out on the 45. And we'll work on those details when we get back to it next week. Okay, going to leave it there. Nice little reference point to come back to as we start to build into our last pass. If you want to kind of work on the set up to where it is, you've got these 3 passes now you can come back to and jump in on. And next week, we will start to scythe down the enemies in all directions as we spiral and horizontal cut. All right, thanks for training today, and we'll talk to you all very soon.